Oh, John McCaig here. Business Crash Course, Liberty Aid Academy. It's noon, it's Monday, and we're going to talk about a lot of good things here, and all of them benefit you. This works for anyone in America, okay? And today we're just going to talk about the business aspect of using a trust. Okay, you're not going to use an LLC, you're not going to use a C Corp, you're not going to use your straw man, your person. You're not going to use those things. Great. What am I going to use? You're going to use a trust, and you're going to open a bank account at a bank, wherever you're banking right now, and that trust will link to your business, right, with however you do it. Going to link with PayPal, Stripe, or however you get paid, right? Checks, doesn't matter. Anything, it'll take anything, right? Just like any bank account will. Okay, so you use a trust bank account. Nothing else changes in your business. You change your bank account. You only change your bank account and whatever payment gateways you use. You put in the name of the trust, and that's it. End of. End of taxes, end of reporting. And many other benefits happen because of that. But as soon as money goes through this trust, instead of your LLC or what have you, okay, as soon as that happens, you owe the IRS $0 in taxes. You owe them 0 pieces of paper. Yeah, no pieces of paper. In other words, no reporting, no filling out tax forms, no nothing. That's it. End of that. And how does that happen? Because the IRS allows that to happen. Of course, the wealthy elite have been doing this from day one, okay? It's just you didn't know about it. I didn't know about it until, many years ago when I started this. But as an accountant, Irish Lord, hey, all right, in the house, some knowledge in the house. That's rare. Have knowledge in the house, in the dome. All right. Oh, okay. I'll use my joke. I have a new joke. And you'll get it. Other humans might not get it, but here's a joke. The human race is over. I won. Y'all can coast for the next 11 years. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Back to the business crash course. All right. So here's the thing. You're running a business. You're doing whatever. I got a construction company. I'm a lawyer. I'm a doctor. I have a painting company. I resell online at eBay. I just go ahead and name absolutely anything you could possibly name. Whatever your business is, it doesn't matter. Okay, all you do is go change your bank account to a trust bank account, and you owe the IRS $0 and 0 pieces of paper. Come on. Yeah, because you don't only have to apply to get a 501c3 status. No, you can, all you do is get an EIN. That is a type of application, but it's a lot shorter than the usual application, isn't it? So anyway, great to have you here. The main point is any business in America, what we're going to talk about today. And if anybody else has any thoughts, questions, what have you, that's great. A little housekeeping. Yeah, just type in the chat anything. I did put the switch on Blog Talk Radio, so all my old shows should be available there. Crazy, huh? I wouldn't, I was interviewing people. I didn't get interviewed, so it was funny. But that's going to be the opposite. I'm still going to be interviewing people, and we'll let you know. Get on our email list and what have you. But I will be letting you know when I'm going to start. It's going to be soon. I would say start next week, basically. And so what we're going to do is we're going to replace one of these free times that I give away in the YouTube videos, right? I have, we go live on YouTube. I go live on YouTube Monday at noon, Thursdays at 7 p.m. So you can count on me, count on the schedule. Anyway, I'm going to take over one of those slots with the Blog Talk Radio. And we're going to do it, from there. And it's really going to be about getting other people's feedback from their experiences, because people get tired of listening to me. Why wouldn't they? You know, it's just one guy talking about this. Yeah, I did it. Mary, all right. Some two very scholarly individuals of note, in my opinion, saying hi. All right. Happy day to you both. Uh, so, we're going to do this blog talk radio thing, and it's really going to be about interviewing people like the people here who are present today, and allowing other people to hear from them, you know, in direct communication, live, their voice. It doesn't do video, I don't think, but, you know, I'd never get approved on something like that. And there's no way that you can sort of put information out like in written form or anything like that, like you can in Patreon, on Blog Talk Radio. You know, I can't put my debt stuff there. I can't, you know, I haven't gotten to the point of just getting banned for speaking. I mean, on YouTube on certain topics, let's, you know, but not completely banned, thrown off a platform forever for just talking and not giving away, you know, dispensing information. I guess that's really not true. Facebook banned me too. Well, we'll see how long this thing lasts. Oh my God, it could be one show. Oh, sometimes I wonder why I bother. But, you know, I feel that it's been many years I've been doing this, and the things that I have listened to, that people's lives have changed so much for the better, radically, quickly, and easily. And I'm tired of second-handing, you know, any of that. I don't feel that's fair to those people who are there, to them, you know, and to the listener either. You know, they deserve, you know, people deserve the truth, from the one who experienced it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's going to be the focus. All right, that's the little housekeeping stuff we have here. We're going to go through the business crash course here. We're going to crash into the business people's mind. It's Monday at noon, and this is the only guaranteed way, right? This works for everyone, okay? It's in the tax code. This is the only way you could guarantee to add to your bottom line in both time and money from here on out in your business. Because other things, they're just a risk, aren't they? They're like, well, okay, maybe I'll try buying from this supplier instead of that one. That's a risk. Maybe I'll use this cell phone instead of that one. Well, that's a risk. Maybe I'll hire him instead of her. That's a risk. Everything you name business is a risk. But this is risk-free because, oh, I got testimonials, I got proof. Okay, great. So no risk in this. The only risk is if you don't do it. But let me tell you, all business people, they're like, okay, I spent the money, I'm going to go do it. And that's it. Takes one day at the bank, and then your business is tax-free from there on out. So, you know, business people, get into this. All right, let's tell you about the school. What's Liberty Aid Academy? Liberty Aid Academy teaches our students to radically improve their lifestyle with legal, easy-to-use financial methods not widely known but proven by testimonials to work for all of our students. Can you imagine? Nowhere the school could say, oh, hey, this works for everyone. No. Total risk going to other schools, isn't it? Our courses use all the courses use copyrighted, unique material only used at our school. All our students' testimonials have a notarized affidavit proving their outcomes, and testimonials are 100% real by real people, just like you. So you get in a course, right? You make your donation, and fantastic. Get the trust first. That's it. Open up your trust bank account, and that's it. You change your payment gateway. That's it. That's the only course you need to get your business tax-free forever. That's it. You need one course. I would suggest business people, the next course you get, Business Finance 101. That's how you build credit for your trusts. I mean, you know, you need credit to run a business. I teach you every step of how to do that, you know, so I recommend that. And then the mentor program, that teaches you what to do with the trust. What do I do with the trust, except for building credit? I teach you, okay, where's all the free money? Where are all the hacks? Where's all the stuff? Where's that great list of things you talk about on Thursday at 7 p.m. in the Trust Crash Course, where there's all that free stuff you get, all the free monthly money, free everything, right? How do I get all that stuff? That's the mentor program. And once you get deep into the spiritual technology, I'm sorry, into this financial technology, you realize it goes hand in hand with spiritual technology, which I have also, and that's in the inner circle. And I kind of keep that on the down low because I've seen in the past, I can't even put up or talk about or anything, talk about debt or credit anymore because I was so successful. That information got banned forever for every platform. They'll come down and shut down everything. The bankers run everything. And if I tell you how to get out of debt, well, they'll just shut me down and make me invisible, as you've seen over the years. So if I start talking about what's in the Inner Circle program, like on YouTube, I might not be on YouTube no more. So, but I'm going to try it on Blog Talk Radio again, because those old shows just have a bunch of crazy stuff. None of it really very useful per se, you know what I mean? But it's absolutely out of this world. You could talk about anything maybe over there. I, of course, will test that, and we'll see, how much gets banned and stuff like that. But the point I'm bringing up is the Inner Circle tech information. It's technology that's been proven to work, that is only for the advanced and not faint of heart. But that information doesn't use paperwork as stuff. Now it's like voice and action activated. It's, because you get to the end of this, you get your paperwork done, you get the financial information technology, like, oh, okay. Here's how all this works. I got my life together, and that's it. It's really, it's just once you know the stuff, that's how I'm going to do it. It doesn't take up a lot of your time, the financial stuff. It takes up the same amount of time financial stuff takes up in your life now. It's just, okay, I won't open a bank account for an LLC or personal, whatever. I do it for trust. It's just, you're not going to be taking actions that you wouldn't be taking. You'll just be doing the actions that don't generate any taxable events or having to, report taxes and on and on. The only thing you're going to be applying for, doing paperwork, is getting free stuff or getting exempt from things. And that's like, oh, okay. If I fill this out and you pay me, well, I'll fill it out, okay? But I don't want to fill out anything and pay you. That's over. I'm an accountant, right? I hacked the money system. Here's the legal way, the super wealthy Illuminati, those who have sold their soul. This is what they do. Okay, so it's legal. They had to be a method for a legal method built into the financial system to just kick back and do nothing about these things. Well, okay, that's legal. Great. You can do it too. That's fine. I just found out about it. Because I'm an accountant. I'm an auditor. And I was like, oh, look what they're up to. Oh, isn't that great? Yeah, this is legal? Fantastic. How do I join the Inner Circle, Mary? It's on the website now. And if it's not, it will be soon. It was on Patreon, and we don't have a large staff here or anything like that. No way. So it's going to take X amount of weeks until everything is moved over to the website, and really not moved again. We're not going to move it again. We're going to keep it there and not move it. We'll talk about it other places. You know what I mean? Like Blog Talk Radio, I can't have it there and talk about it. I'll just be talking. Patreon is like having information and talking. It's like banned. So just be talking, no documents, no things to pass on knowledge except for by speech. And so far, that seems the least thing they're concerned about is, okay, go ahead and say something. If they can't read it, they'll never believe it. It's like, oh, okay. So it couldn't find it. Yeah, look in the courses page, Mary, and it's being populated there, okay? It's on the courses page, Inner Circle, and if it's not there, it will be shortly, okay? My understanding is that it is, but I haven't looked myself, and I have my team meeting, like our weekly meetings later on Monday. So that's when I do my full fill-in and everything. But that's where everything is going. And listen. We're going to change the name, not immediately, but the thing is, people aren't using the community forum quite enough, which really should be the classroom. I'm thinking I'm going to name it the classroom because that's a private forum. That's only you all at the school and me. That's like we can go in there and it's just the students and me, the professor, the nutty professor. And, and so I'm in there answer questions and stuff like that. It's totally a closed loop between just students and myself. And so, and unlike other places, you could pass documents there, links, everything. And they're compiled in a way so they're, not super easy to search like Google, but relatively easy to search. You know what I mean? So, you've got to get in there, people, and see what's in there and use it because, like I mentioned this to Irish Lord was on YouTube. He's like, "What about this?" You know what I mean? And he asked a debt thing question. And of course, I knew the answer. It was an easy thing, but his question was valuable because it was just, oh, apparently I sucked as a teacher and left that piece missing out of his information, and so I would like to get it to all the students. You know what I mean? And so that community forum for the school is the place for those kind of questions because I do my best to think of everything, and maybe I've done most everything, but to put it in a course on every detail is very hard to get everything, and that's why. And things happen. Hey, there's this new whatever. Hey, great. So that classroom area, that community forum, uh, you know, please try and get into the habit of using that. And even above email, you know what I mean? Because, whatever, most situation is just like, I'm trying to do this thing, how do I do it? And it's not like, super private information or whatever like that, because it's just everybody's doing the same thing. It's not like I'm, trying to give away your details. No, no, no. It's just like, hey, I'm trying to do property tax. Here's my question on this for blah, 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 blah. Just be detailed and ask your question with a link and a form and so on in there. And we could go back and forth. And other people could jump in too, you see. Not just myself, because I can't have done everything. I don't live in every state. I can't have, registered everything in every state. Oh, look, I'm sitting in the way of the trust course here. There's a trust. But I meant to move me. There's a trust. So, please get in there and use that because it's actually faster than email because I got a buffer in between me out there because we got a lot of, just people inquiring about, our basic courses and stuff like that. So, but if you're in that community portal, you're in there. I check on it every day. I'm in there because these are the doers. These are the people that are in there working in the trenches doing right now. Hey, you got the answer? Yeah, let's get into it. Those are my peeps right there. Especially if you take the time to do it in the community portal because you're serving others. You see what I mean? We gave you a place to serve others, your other classmates. Like, hey, and they take it for real if you haven't been in there. All the hacks and the details, and guess what I did? I love the people in there. I love it in there. It's so fun. It's so beautiful. There's so many cool things that people are doing with this trust. Anyway, so please get in there if you're in the school already, okay? And this is what it looks like. I'm talking about the thing on the left there, okay? That community forum, that's what I'm talking about. When you do your login as a student, it's that thing on the left. And if you haven't gotten in there, you need a separate login because we're using like an app within our website and so on, but it's private. So it's just, it's not like you're getting on, some social media thing. No. We paid for an app to be on here that's completely private. So, it's not all the bells and whistles of a Google or Facebook or something like that, but it's not all the evil overlords in there, okay, yeah, ruin their life, gang stalk them. They seem too far advanced, or whatever, right? It's nothing, none of that. It's just people doing this work, and very current. It's like today I did dot 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 dot. What? Let's see. So totally get in that, please. All right. Anyone doing this, work, you get in there, your login, go over there in the community forum. It's so good. But to people, look at, oh, should I get the trust and stuff? Your courses are on the right, and we have this FAQ in the middle of your student portal. Well, let me see what people are saying. A Divine Life. Does a private mailbox work for building corporate credit? I don't know what that is. I don't know what a private mailbox is. You have to have a public address. So I would say I don't know the meaning of private in relation to a mailbox. I've never heard the term. I just don't know what that means, because private has so many different meanings when you attach it to another word. Like, this is a private trust, what we're talking about. It's a non-statutory trust. Private in relation to a trust means non-statutory. What does that mean? You're like, what? That means you create it yourself. You say private. This is a private trust. That means you create it yourself. If you think it means something else, you don't understand what the word private means in relation to trust. You see, to say it's a descriptor of the trust. It's not just, oh, random large word named private applied to a trust means everything private. No. And it has that direct, exact meaning. So I don't know what a private mailbox is. I've never heard of it. I've never heard of that. So, but the whole goal is to create a public credit profile for your trust. So my guess is no matter what that private mailbox is, it's the opposite of what you're looking for. Because, the other thing that people attach private to this trust is, oh, yeah, you create it yourself so you don't have to divulge certain information. That's true. You don't. But if you get in the, you want to get credit for the trust, well, you have to divulge certain information, don't you? Because the creditor's like, well, where is the trust? What's the address? What's that stuff? So you need this list of things to get approved for, a credit at a creditor. They have a list. You have to do da-da-da. You don't get out of that list by having a private trust. No. You still have to do the list, and you have to do some other things too, which you can do, but you have to know what they are to do them. Anyway, so that's my answer. I don't know what it means, but it can't mean anything good, because you're trying to create a public profile. So no. And, mailbox is probably another no good thing too, So both those words I see no. Mary, yeah, okay. Mary, you're very advanced to this work. That spiritual technology it's everything. I didn't leave anything out. It's not like, oh, now what am I now? Learn everything about the opposition, everything. Because I've done everything against them. I've done literally everything there is to do against the bankers. Whatever, like 50 court cases against the bankers and stuff. I know it all. So the best I could do is share it with people. Okay, you have that, spiritual information technology. So, because, this information, all of it is different tactics, isn't it? It's different things you could do. Tactics, right? Oh, wow. Now I know. And that's what we have, right? We have all the tactics, all the financial tactics, the spiritual tactics that there are. Okay, divulge them all here. They're not like any more hidden. No, I give them all out. So to form an appropriate strategy for your life, like, oh, this is what I'm going to do, right? You need what the choices are. Okay, here's all the information of what I could choose from on the menu. Your strategy will change if you have other information. So the goal is to have all the information. In other words, the Bible says are real short, right? The truth sets you free, right? Because you're not going to make any wrong choices from then on out, right? You're going to be like, okay, I know the truth, and this would have been a harder choice to make, but now I know the truth, so there is no other choice. This is the only choice as I see it, because this is the truth. And so Um, your strategy is based on no more hidden information. Nothing's hidden. So your strategy, you know your life best, right? You do. So it's hard to come to me or someone, oh, you have the information I need, but I need to apply it to my life, right? So my goal is to give you all the information. Oh, I absolutely understand it. There's nothing left out. Great. All the financial stuff works. The spiritual technology is simple, it's easy. I get it. It goes hand in hand. I understand everything. Uh, I don't need you. Right. That's good. You don't because, I mean, I'm here. We're here. The school is here. Ask any questions. It's hard to give you every detail of every information, and new things happen. That they're always doing new things. So we're always here for new stuff. But I just mean generally, if you have all the information, you can form such a better strategy for whatever you're going to do. Living your life, protecting your family, everything. You know it all. You see what I say, and so you process it more and experience it more over time. You become wise. You have the knowledge, but then once you have all the knowledge, you're not trying to gather more knowledge per se. You're trying to gather more experiences, which deepen your knowledge that you already have. You see what I'm saying? So, and you're, with knowing all the tactics available to you, your strategy just improves every time because now you're beginning to employ those tactics. You're like, okay, works like that. Oh, and it works like that too. Okay, now I really know how to use this from experience, not just, okay, I wrote it, I did it, I understand, I have the knowledge, but I don't have it by experience. So, once you have all the information, you constantly make good choices. You constantly understand what the situation is, what you're up against, and so you constantly make decisions based on truth. So please get in the community forum. Don't leave any courses out. Okay, get all the information, and then you have it all. All right. So what is it? How do I become tax free as a business? Right? It's super easy. You get this trust. We have all the documents prepared. You get online, you name your trust, you get the EIN. Right? As soon as you get the EIN, literally that moment, and you do it online, it takes like 10 minutes. And that's following carefully the instructions. Okay, he says click here, click there. This is easy. Click there. Okay, this is easy. You just like 10 minutes later, you're spitting out an EIN, which is automatically gives you 501c3 status to your trust. And it's a special type of 501c3. It's non-reporting. You don't fill out tax forms. That's why it's such a clever move by our enslavers. You gotta give them credit. Humans, while not super intelligent, are very intelligent. I don't want to make them sound like as dumb as a horse. It's close, most of them, right? But they're pretty generally, semi-clever and stuff like that. So you got to hide things from them, right? That's why a president's like, well, my accountant says, yeah, I just can't show you my taxes. Well, why would that be? Well, because, the second part, what they don't say in the answer to the question is, well, because I never fill out tax forms, and that's what my accountant said to do. It's totally legal, and the IRS says it's legal too. So you see it play out right in front of you all the time. You see? And any other tax, exemption you need, right? I want property tax exemption. I need sales tax exemption. Da da da. You apply for that because you already have 501c3 status. You see? It's really easy. So your business, right? Okay, how do I go tax-free as a business? Okay, it's super easy because you're not changing your business. All you're doing is changing your bank account. So you open up a trust bank account where you're currently banking is fine, no problem. And then it's like, okay, I use PayPal or Stripe or whatever, or I use both of them. Okay, go get a PayPal, Stripe, what have you, in the name of that trust. They're linked together. That's your business, and you just link it to however you do business, and that's it. No more taxes. That's it. And if you take checks, okay, I take checks. Okay, we'll just change the invoice to pay da 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 trust. That's it. They go, okay, just give you, here's your check. That's it. That's the end of it. That's it. That's it's not. It's a totally behind the scenes back room. Within your business structure change that has no change to your clients, your business, the way you do business. Nothing changes. Only thing is, from that day forward, you get all this money back by not reporting or paying IRS taxes, and all the time back from not reporting, right? So all that time and money you now apply to your business or whatever, your home life. It's like, wow, I'm making a profit now. I'll take all that money back and I'll take all that time back. That's how simple it is. It's so incredibly simple. Steven, hey, if I'm mistaken, you have a master's in accountancy. Yes, it's called a master's in the science of accountancy. What a long name. And science is like, why did you throw that thing in there? Oh, because we're not going to tell you about the trust and all the benefits we can get from that in accounting. I also have another master's degree too, Stephen, MBA. The master's in accounting is a 1 year full-time graduate school, and master's degree is a 2 year full-time. So 3 years graduate school. Back when they trade their slaves in face-to-face in buildings, not online. I did it at University of North Carolina. True. And they're sitting behind me, the sheepskin. Look, I look like a sheep. Here's my sheep. What do we got here? Sheepskins. Right? Look. I'm just a sheep. I am not a wolf. So, right? Need some saving down here on the dome. Help. So. Yes, Stephen. And 40 years of experience, and all the information on this website, all the training and everything, I found it out first. It's copyrighted. I figured this information out first, and I'm the one with the experience and how to use it, do it, and so on. Can't get that from anywhere else. Not the experience or my copyrighted work. No, just here. Yosef, all right. How you doing? Yeah, the gardeners, the tenders of the land. Mr. McKegg, you're so polite. You may be the most beautiful being I've been like here. See, that makes me lose. That makes me lose to you right there. I automatically lose. If I had the title, Yosef, I just lost it to you. You're like the nicest guy ever. What are you talking about? Look at what you just wrote. You're so sweet. This is just like the most lovely family doing a permacultural farm. Oh my God, they're just so fabulous. Some of the people that have come along to this work are just so super wonderful. Yes, I'm science. Exactly. That's a great joke. Tiffany, you like my sheepskin joke? Good to see you too, Tiffany. Yes, I'm telling you, can you imagine these wonderful people that sweet out there tending to the land and growing things? Wouldn't you like to eat and drink everything that they have? Oh my God, I remember when I was in India once. First time I went, Y2K, I was in a plane Y2K my first time in India. And there I am sitting with the individual who brought me there, Yeah, I found out who he was later. That's in the inner circle. But I'm sitting there in this restaurant, never been in India, and I'm about to have my first meal. And it's just packed, And of course, he knew the best restaurant to go to is all veg, everything. It was so, the smells, the place was all old wood. It was in Chennai. What a just unbelievable. I could never describe it. Never describe it. But I'm in this, finally get in this building where all this food is being served. There's such a bustle, such everything going on. And everyone is just so wonderful, you know? It's just like, where am I? And I did it, my food's in front of me, and I just had this feeling like, I'm like, so I like say to the guy I'm with who's taking me there, I say to him, I was like, what is going on here? I was like, I feel like people are doing a whole bunch of things here uh, with their food, and I don't know what they are. They're not just like, you know, eating. There's a whole bunch of other stuff going on. What's going on here? How should I eat this food? Basically, because I've got to this place, I'm like, this is way better food and eating both, right? And getting along in interaction that I have by far ever seen in my lifetime, heard of, seen on a TV show, nothing. I was like, what is, it's like food was new from that moment. I was like, what is going on here? You know? And he says, uh, boy, I'm going on the side here, aren't I? But he says, uh, you know, it really starts at the farm. I was like, what? I was like, I'm hungry now. I was like, we have to go to the farm. Anyway, he says it's really, you know, the way people grow their food and they pray to grow their food a certain way. And then when they receive the food in the kitchen and it's a certain meal, they're saying a certain mantra and saying a certain prayer into the food. And then they're bringing it out here. And the people that are serving it in a certain way. And they're saying their prayers to their God. And you should be saying your prayers to your God when you're eating it. And he's like, eat it in this certain order for this reason. I was like, yeah, I thought there was something going on up in here. I was right. Anyway, but I just want to say, you know, like these people that assign the trust and are performing actions out there and making it, you know, their life to live under this trust and with God and so on. Their life is not like anyone else's, you know what I mean? And so the outcomes that happen in their life, they're not like anyone else's either. So I'm just kind of bringing it up that in a way by explaining that what I'm trying to say about Yosef. You know what I mean? I was like, no way, you can't give me the title if you have it out there. Make it, you know, beautiful farm. I'm not doing that. I'm like, I'm just running my mouth up in here, talking to people, getting at it. I'm down like down in the trenches, man. You're making a beautiful place out there. So anyway, think it through like that. That's what I mean by, we've gotten things from certain people doing certain things with this trust, interacted with them in certain ways, and it's just wonderful. You should try and do that in the community portal. You know, that's where the students are. You can, don't be like, hey, give me your number, and that's creepy. You know what I mean? But like, oh, we have a business and we make honey and stuff like that. We have someone doing that, and we got Yosef, a farmer, and stuff like that. It would be great to have your information and all that, whomever, in the community portal. Like, this is who I am, this is what I do, because that really helps cement into people's mind. Oh, there's so many people do all these things in life with this trust and in these ways, and this is their experience, and of course, people, if they could, would love to support you. So that, that's what I was trying to say. Steve, so can you give advice in regards to tax and also do as a CPA is doing, right? I choose not to. I choose not to. I choose not to do taxes, and so no, that's how you get out of it. Now, because listen, that's a great question. First of all, Stephen, that's a fantastic question. I love that question. That is a straight arrow to the bullseye, baby. I love it. That's a beautiful question. That's such a good question because, listen, here's the beauty of your situation. It's a full understanding will get you, so you'll answer that question yourself, but this is why. Okay, let's say you find out about the trust, you open a trust. Yay, right? You're like, hooray! No more taxes for you, right? But, okay, well, what does that leave? It might leave someone in this position where, oh, I had this LLC or blah, blah, right? This past tax thing. A person that might owe taxes, what have you, right? You're a straw man. Well, once everything's safely over in the trust, right? Why are you going to pay any past tax bills to anybody? Come on, right? So my advice always is always the same, Stephen. I'll give it right here for free. If I was a CPA and I knew about this, I could say, well, uh, don't pay them because your entity's not going to have a bank account or whatever. How are they going to get any money if your LLC owes past taxes or your person? You know, you don't have any bank account or any money. It's just doesn't have anything. Sorry. Judgment proof. Right? Even if someone gets a judgment, it's like, well, there's nothing to get. And so you always fill out a form, right? There's zeros, so why are you going to get a judgment? They wouldn't. Why spend the money on it? The IRS or anyone? No, it's a total. You beat them. You see? So it's a good question because it points out that there's no longer a need for a CPA for anyone ever. You know what I'm saying? Because you never have to look into solution for anything with them tax people. Sorry. Bye. It's so good. What a great question. What a great question. I hope I explained that well. Yeah, so please come visit. Oh, New Mexico, Texas border, right? Man, I did some serious work a couple years ago out there on that border. Uh, yeah, it's work out there. If I get out there, I can. But boy, man, that you desert dwellers, my hat's on to you. My hat's on to you. I'm like ah. No, it's beautiful that you could do that out there. And it's needed, but it's some work out there. I worked with the head team to Itoy and the Huicholi is out there. That border. I mean, man, you work out there in the land of El Diablo, boy. You learn everything, to keep your family safe, right? Woo! Smoking hot out there, and barely a drop of water. So thank you very much for that invitation, Yosef. I will take that very seriously. I lived up north out in New Mexico in Taos for a decade. So yeah, it's a beautiful place out there and beautiful people. So keep up the great work and thank you very much for that invitation. Thank you. Dee Dee, that's a good story. Like medicine, I don't know about my body and if all medicine from doctors is good. But Jack told me to pray and ask God. Yeah, he will tell you. Like Bear Baba told all this over. That's right. Uh, this is a business solution like what I'm talking about today. But as Dee Dee brought up, this is a spiritual solution as well. You're not meant to be. No one's meant to be in a religion. You're meant to be. Oh, I'm one-on-one with my God, right? There's no barrier or separation. There's nothing like that. No, how that would be the opposite of what we would want. Do religious and religious and spiritual texts have some useful information in it? Yes. Whether it's useful because it's bad and you're like or it's useful because it has a little kernel of truth in it. Yeah, you have to discern that. But in the end, why would we're created by some entity, right? You want to call God, and you want to call God in the right name, right? We're created by something. Why would you want to have anything in between you and your Creator? You would want to have no separation whatsoever. You see, one-on-one relationship. In fact, the one-on-one relationship comes down to a relationship of one. There is no separation, right? And no longer one-on-one. It becomes one, right? And the truth is what sets you free and brings you to that relationship where there's no separation, right? What does that mean? I mean, you know what to do. It means a lot of things, but you really need to get into my inner circle work, I would say. And then when I start this blog talk radio, we'll get into that over there. I don't want to go too deeply into that because that's what that is going to be for some people like Dee Dee, Yosef, and all these, Tiffany. I can go right down the list of everyone on here. Steven, I could go down the list of everyone on here. Just type it in here. Your information, your experience, what you can share is valuable. And I want to provide a forum and a platform so I can support that information as best as I can. So look out for the Blog Talk Radio thing, and I'm just going to click on the button and let whomever in there, including the agents, come on down, agents. So here's your invitation, 33. Let's see what you got, homies. I say no one can beat me. I know you in a second, 1 second, and let's see. Come on down. Come on down. We're serving everybody. 10 billion served. 10 zillion served. Everybody, come on down. No, I'm here for everybody. I'm here for the we and the humans. I'm here for everybody. You gotta earn your wings to play this game. So come on down. You got to check out our testimonials. Here, Dee Dee. I'm going to quote Dee Dee after Dee Dee type. Come on, Dee Dee, you're the best. Dee Dee's been doing this a long time, and this quote is so perfect. It's just lifted from her. She said many wonderful things in the testimonial. It's just, this is super sublime. You saved my life, even though it doesn't look like much has changed. Everything has changed. I mean, this is invisible. This is very clever financial and spiritual technology that has been used against us. And now once you see the truth of it, it's like, oh, what do you mean? This is legal? I can do this too? Yeah. You can do this too. This is all legal. They're doing it. Hooray. And it's invisible, right? You no longer fill out tax forms, right? So there's no paper trail. You see? I'm an auditor. You're not only looking at paperwork, you're looking for like a shadow, right? Where is the absence of paperwork where paperwork should be? Right? Where are all the tax forms? I mean, presidents should be like, look, I made no money. Aren't I a great, I'm not a greedy slave owner like the bankers. It's like, no, they never do that. They never divulge any piece of paper, nothing. You can't even get a birth certificate. No, nothing. It's easier to get presidents who do what they say against America, but against Americans if they weren't born here. It's just easier. It's just, oh, that's clever. Let's use that one. It's so obvious. Greg, Liberty Aid Academy's support has been vital in the creation of this trust. Any questions or concerns they answered, the whole community has been a big support. The proverbial weight or fear has been lifted, and we'll be continuing with all of John's work. Once you figure out this is super easy, and you're just lied to or told about it or whatever, right? You're like, oh, crap. I should have been doing this a long time ago. You got to check out our testimonials, though. You just can't believe it. It's so wonderful. Let's get me out of the way here so you can read the information. There you go. Yeah, this works for everyone. So you just have to change your life. It's just some pieces of paper. It doesn't take much of your time. Business people are like, yeah, but how much time does it take? It's like 1 business day. How about them apples? And then tax-free. Your business. Forever. And no filling out forms like 000. No, you don't have to do that. You don't have to fill out anything. I hope that's right. No. Over. You're not going to be hearing back from them because you're not sending them anything. It's just indescribably, wonderfully fabulous, Otherwise, you're like, well, I didn't pay him, and then you're worried, oh, maybe I should have, and blah, 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 or you're filling out taxes and you're paying them, and it's like, well, crap, I just lost a bunch of time and money. So either you paid them and you're out that money and time, or you're out your well-being and being worried about it. Well, those go away. All that goes away. It's so wonderful. Having experienced this, this trust work since 2016, it's been just without is. How I was a builder, for a long time too, licensed general contractor at 3 different states and so on, until I, really got into this particular part of the business, finance and so on. But, you know, I built a lot of stuff. None of it's flawless. None of it, I could just say none of it's flawless to build something. But this trust, for some reason, has been flawless for people. It has not given anyone a problem. Can you imagine? I mean, obviously, switch your affiliation to God. God must help out, because I could never build that way. I could never do anything else in my life that was, you know, unchanging and working perfectly since day one. It's just so wonderful. I feel blessed to uh, be able to serve people, correctly right from the moment that I was giving them this trust properly without any, I don't have anyone in my past. It's like, well, I wish I had done better for them. I don't have anyone like that. It's worked for everyone. You see, it's just wonderful. Michelle, what is the federal code for the trust again? The federal code for the trust is 501c3, nonprofit status. That's the code. This trust gets 501c3 status, okay? You get that? A lot of people misunderstand that particular fine point. Your application is not this long application, though, and so on. It's just your application is through the EIN. It's co-joined in your application for the EIN. Your application for 501c3 status is embedded within the EIN application, which is just click, 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 free. Boom, print it out. Oh, that took 10 minutes. You see? So the code that allows for the use of this 501c3 status is 508c1a, capital A, 508c1a. That's the part that allows for not paying of taxes, and then the part that allows for non-reporting of taxes is 6033. It's the same word for word stuff. You'll see it there. 6033 is non-reporting of exempt entities. So yeah, there's certain. It's beautiful. You just go read the code. It's like, oh crap! It says right in the IRS code, and this dude figured it out. I know, right? I actually figured out the code second. Strangely, it's funny. I just, on the money it says in God we trust. So I'm like, that's a trust, because the rules at every Secretary of State have their special rules for naming businesses. There's special rules with regards to two particular words, showing you that the bankers are the enslavers of all humans. They literally are your owners until you sign this trust, but they own you, because you can't use the word bank or trust in any of your marketing or business name or anything like that, unless it's a bank or a trust. Period. That's the rules at every Secretary of State. You cannot do it. So when you see the words "In God We Trust" in public, it has nothing to do with what you. It's not a, hey, that's our slogan. Yeah, but that cannot be your slogan unless it's also your business name. Has to be your business name for it to be your slogan, because there's the word trust at the end of it. So you have to use, if you find it, you see the word trust at the end of anything in any public kind of advertising or whatever, it's a trust. The Great Northern Trust. Okay, that's a trust, right? Anything with, so in God we trust. Oh, that's a trust. What is that? Just absolutely illogical, dumb, stupid dudes with wigs on, right? Oh, they're not MTFs. No, they're not. They were board men. They just like to wear wigs. Well, wait, what? Right? Your story is that a bunch of MTFs rented everything, signed a document, but where? In Pennsylvania. Oh, okay. I looked it up on Secretary of State of Pennsylvania. What did I find? It got We Trust /USA Inc. There's your country, right, under the MTFs. Just so, there's no word for how heinous it is for the way that their actions must speak to the way they think about women. And the ones that, are the ones that have to go through the agony of bringing people through birth and raising them to hopefully becoming smart individuals, and they're just making fun of them. That's your story. And they signed a piece of paper to make a more perfect union. There was a perfect union, but you solved it by making a more perfect union. Well, where did you make that ridiculous document? Pennsylvania, right? Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Oh, that was the story. Oh, okay. There it is. IGA We Trust /USAE. And what's the slash mean? When you're registering a business at a Secretary of State, when you see a forward slash, then that means DBA, right? That's a symbol that means DBA, and DBA is already symbols that mean something else. Doing business as, and doing business as is already a name for what does that mean? You know what I mean? It's like, what? It means that a business can have two names at the same time and do business in both of those same names at the same time. That's what it means. A DBA, doing business as. You can have a separate name for your business. Totally operate under that name, and it's not an actual separate business. It's just there's just a separate name you could use by law. It's legal. An actual reason for doing a DBA, I found out, one, if you have to get through a payment gateway situation, eBay is what I heard out of. But if you have to get through, this is kind of like details, but if you have to get through a payment gateway situation where you need a DBA, your name has to match or whatever, okay, then you could do a DBA, which is something you register at Secretary of State. Okay, now I have a second name for the business, not just one, two. Okay, so just like the IGA We Trust, USAE has two names. Oh, okay, so 501c3. So you see, and then I went and looked up, because they're like, oh, how do you become a nonprofit, right? Oh, by application. They say nonprofit, right? How do you become a nonprofit? No, it's how do you get 501c3 status, which is you don't pay the IRS, right? How do you get that? Oh, well, there are two ways, by this long application where they can yank it or whatever, but you could also get it this other way. Do you follow? You could get it, just by application to get the EIN. But you cannot get credit, you see what I'm saying? Unless you register a trust, because you create it yourself. It's non-statutory private, you create it yourself like they did. But they couldn't get any credit. They couldn't operate in public in the credit system. They could operate in the banking system, but not in the credit part of the banking system, unless they registered that trust, which they did. And so it was so easy to look them up and be like, oh, okay, here's the USA government. It's a trust. And then it was like, who's we, by the way? And what does those symbols mean? A W means a 3, means a E, means a M. It's the same symbol, right? What does that symbol mean, right? The pitchfork, or the one with a tail, right? Or the lake of fire. That's who we B33 is. So yeah, your soul is, sadly, hate to tell you, but you got to switch its affiliation, and I got the only contract for it, so you better get into it. You follow? Anyway, so let's just let me know everything that's going on just by tracking down the finances. So the financial technology does go hand in hand with the spiritual technology, information, the truth. Michelle, what is federal code for the trust again? 508c1a brings you to, yeah, you got it right. Help me, Jack. So confused. What are the difference between 501c3 is a nonprofit status? 508c1a is the loophole that allows this trust to have 501c3 status. You see, it reads, the churches, their integrated auxiliaries, conventions, and churches, their integrated auxiliary. Oh wait, I can't remember the second one. I don't know, but it says conventions. Churches, conventions, their integrated auxiliaries are all allowed to have 501c3 status without application. That's what it says. Oh. Didn't know that. Yeah. No, they hide this truth, you see. You can go watch a trust crash course on our YouTube channel. I used to go through every detail of every, all the things you're asking and stuff, but you could look at that in our longer version of the trust crash course. I go through all the details of all the code and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's really easy. You see, there's one application process that everyone knows about to become a 501c3 organization, a nonprofit, a federal nonprofit, right? Oh, we filled this form, we pay, all the, pay a lawyer, and or an accountant, right? All the money to, put your organization together in the right way. Then you got to do 3 years financial forward, 3 years backwards, 40-page application, $800 fee, wait 2, 3, 4 years to see if you get approved to be a nonprofit. There's that choice. And they can yank the 501c3 status any second they want. Or you can pay $0 and just get the EIN, and then you get a 501c3 status that way too. There are 2 ways. And so they just didn't tell you about it. So let me go through this. So the way that you do it by application, right, when you pay that large fee and put all the financials and all that stuff together, you get what's called a 501c3 exemption letter, which you could go look up on the IRS website for free. It's like, IRS exemption letter. And you can actually look up any organization that currently has one. Just type it in. Click, click, click. And you won't see that the USA Inc. has it. You won't see the God We Trust has it. You'll look it up and like, no, they don't have a letter. And what about my church? Look up your church. Nope, they don't have a letter. Let me look up another church down the street. Let me look up this church, that church. They don't have it either. So churches and the government, it's like, wait a minute. They don't have an exemption letter from the IRS yet. They don't pay any property tax. They pay 0 property taxes, all them organizations. So that means they went through the application process down at the county, at every county all across America, right? Because IRS buildings are everywhere and churches are everywhere, right? So everywhere in America, because you apply for property tax exemption at the county level, right? So everywhere in America, all the churches and the IRS and all government buildings, all of them went to the county. They filled out an application, and they put in for an application, right, of not paying property tax. That's the process. There is no other process. There's no other process. There's an approval that they take you off the property tax rolls. That's how it's done, right? There's no other method. And that's the way every single county does it. So that means that every single county in America gave that property tax exemption without looking up, without receiving any letter, a tax exemption letter from either church or the government, because they don't have one. You see, they got their 501c3 status by getting the EIN properly. That's all. And all the counties approved of that. That's okay. Yeah, the IRS made that okay, so that's okay. See, because they allow, organizations with the 501c3 status to not pay property tax. Okay, well, that's meaningful. This trust has 501c3 status, so put real estate in, no property taxes. How's that? Does that matter for a real estate investor? I would say yes. And anyone else? Yes. Any property owner, it matters, right? It matters. But you see how, just as an auditor, right? I'm an accountant. As an auditor, I'm explaining you, the audit trail that led me to the simplicity of using this trust and the legality of it as well. Totally legal. This is what they're doing. How could it not be legal if every church and every government building uses this exact method? How is it not legal? It's totally legal. That's why it's flawlessly problem-free for everyone that uses this trust. No problem whatsoever. Period. For everyone. You see, every business, everyone, no one has a problem. No one. Nothing. I'm here live twice a week to prove that point. Twice a week. Every week. I'm always here. They always know where I am. And so they always know what? I'm doing something that's totally legal. So could you. It's so simple. And here I am, yeah, twice a week, same old, same old. Yeah, everything's cool. So, all right, I feel like we got through everything. Everybody's thoughts, questions. I gave a little storytelling so in regards to we're going to get the Blog Talk Radio maybe into the slot here next week. Look for it next week, okay? People have a wonderful week. I don't see any more thoughts, questions, what have you. Thank you for coming by. Carry on with your day and have a wonderful day and have a wonderful week. If I can help in any way, get us through the email or community forum. If not, hey, listen, get the trust, get it today, change your life today.